What's good, guys? What's going on? Welcome to this episode of Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk. I got my man JD in the house from JD TV, JD Rants. What's up, brother? What's going on, man?
Dude, not much. Just hanging out as usual. I'm playing video games and trying to stay busy. Knicks rebuilds and the usual.
Just trying to get through this stuff, right?
Yeah, just bored, man. Just bored without basketball. I definitely want some playoffs soon.
Yeah, man. I hear you. Now let's just kind of dive right in. I think they're coming back. I think the NBA season will be back. I'm almost 100% sure that the NBA they will be coming back. I think we haven't heard too much out of them because I believe that they're trying to hammer out details on how to do this as safely and as economically efficient for them as possible. They've thrown a couple of scenarios around. They've thrown a few different types of scenarios around Vegas and Disney's been tossed out there the last couple of days, I want to say. But overall, I think the general consensus with them is they're trying to kind of create this little bubble that they can keep the players and their families and a little kind of a safety net if you want to call it. But I think they're coming back. I think they are, especially if there's money to be made in it. Like if the country starts to come back, let's say in the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, the country starts to come back and it starts to open up, and in some shape or form, some of these restrictions start getting lifted, and that's an opportunity for them, to. I'm not saying they're going to have fans in the stands, but there'll be there'll be interest. There'll be interest this year for them financially. I don't know what you think, JD, but those are my thoughts. What do you say, brother?
I think you hit it on the head when you said if there's money to be made, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. I mean, yes, people love basketball, and I would like to think that most of these guys, no matter if they got paid to play or not, would play basketball in their free time. I would imagine that most of these guys do play basketball in their free time because it's just for the love of the sport and everything. But at the end of the day, it's about money, and you're not going to put it on TV if you can't make money. If these advertising dollars start to come back, and you already know that sports is the number one thing on TV. Nothing. Reality shows is like number two, I think, and then ratings. The news is number three.
The ratings for sporting events.
Television, yeah. It's easy. So they control the bar. Basically, however hectic or however intense, dramatic that the NBA wants to make it, they can make it. They have done a really good job over the last 20 or 30 years in creating storylines, creating a narrative. And one thing that I will add to this conversation, though, you pretty much summed it up really well. I totally agree that if there's money to be made, they'll be back. And that's pretty much the key point. That's the key. That's what you need to pay attention to. But what I will say is that I don't think, and I was telling you this before the show, I don't think we're going to have a regular season. I don't think it's viable for the lesser market teams who are not in the playoffs, who are not important going into the postseason, to reactivate their staff, reactivate their arena, reactivate anything like that. And I agree with you. It's going to be at like a Disney, Las Vegas, something like that, because and I think that they're going to have some exhibition matches. I don't think we're going to just dive right into the postseason. But yeah, I definitely don't think that it's smart for like the Bulls, for instance. Like, what's the point of that? What's the point of reactivating the Bulls and having all of them? That's just infecting more people. You're inviting more people to the equation. And like you said, how do we quarantine all these people? Well, if we have 30 teams activated, it's going to be even harder. If you have 16, it's not quite as much of a jump.
An undertaking, yeah. But see, now that type of a scenario, that type of a scenario it's gonna like all these bubble teams that are on the outside looking in, dude. That's gonna make a lot of them teams mad, like the Spurs, the Grizzlies, the all the Pelicans, all these teams that were they were literally fighting for their playoff lives. Like some of these teams have got hot at the right time and they were closing the gap, to try and sneak in at that 7 or 8 seed. Those final two spots. There were like 8 teams that were literally like going to depend on those final. I think we had 12 games to go in the regular season. Like those 12 games for those
Pelicans wanted to make a push.
That's what I mean. Like, dude, there was a lot of bubble teams that were gonna, that are gonna be really upset if that's the way they decide to go. Which I mean, I have a feeling that's how they're gonna. That may be how they're gonna do it because, like you said, trying to create a safety net around 30 teams is. That is a massive undertaking. But if you just say, all right, we're gonna just take the playoff, the time at which we had to suspend the season is these are your playoff seeds. These are your 1 through 8 seeds. You know what I mean? These are your 16 teams. 8. You know what I mean? And just do it for that. You right off the bat cut it in half. Cut the amount of time, money, and
some people off.
Yeah, it's gonna irk a lot of these teams that you're just gonna write them off that were trying to push for a playoff spot. It's gonna be interesting.
I think it could benefit some teams too. I think it could catch some younger teams off guard. Like not being in the flow of the season, not coming out of the season like fresh. Basically, you're just diving into the postseason, and I think somebody like LeBron will take advantage of that. I think CP3 will take advantage of that. I think that a lot of these young guys will kind of be starstruck, kind of like deer in the headlights, and that's what I predict at least. But it will be very interesting to see who benefits from that and who like falters. So we are just diving right back into it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. We're literally just gonna pick up. They're gonna try and just pick it up where they, do the best they can to hit the
rest in peace, Don Shula.
Definitely. Yeah. I did hear about that. Shula did pass away. But yeah, sure. Like they're literally. I mean, they're trying to hit. They're gonna try and hit the ground running, which that's not gonna be an easy thing to do.
It's not impossible though, and I think that football and baseball, for some reason, I think social distancing in baseball will be really easy. Football will be kind of hard, but social distancing in baseball will be really easy if you take the players out of it, or the fans rather, and you just
take the fans out of it. Yeah,
like it'll be pretty easy for baseball to do that. Basketball, I think that's going to set the bar. If basketball does it really successfully and there's no bumps in the road, then everyone will just come right back.
Yeah, let's say they get the season off and running, right? And it like it goes off without a hitch. They have the playoff run. They have a few let's say they have a few exhibition games first. And then they have the playoff run, and then they have the titles. And if no one comes out of it sick, that's going to be the spearhead for everybody else.
Yeah, they can do that. The NFL will 100%. They're going to be like all in. They might even like just limit how many people they have in the stadium, and even allow people to come in the stadium. Honestly.
What's up, Rich? What's up, Leedy? Brandon in the house. Elias, Water King. Hey guys, what's going on?
He said it's going to be hard, just like in other sports. That's what Water King says. Why do you think that, Water King? Like you can kind of sit away from each other, like the ump and everybody can be kind of far away, and the batter can be kind of far away. They'll do whatever they can.
Like, dude, we could make a whole episode on baseball too. We could talk about that too, on how they're gonna do stuff, because that's they're.
I think once we get it started, everything will be like. Everything will just be. Everyone will be surprised at how easy it is. Like I really do. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as like the doomsday people are saying. I really don't. That's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong.
We have to do. Like I told you off stream, dude. We can't continue to live like this. We have to at least make an attempt. We have to. Yeah, we have to at least make an attempt to get back into some sort of normalcy.
If you could say like, okay, if you're at a certain age, you can't attend a ball game for a couple years. Okay, that seems reasonable. Like it seems like younger people kind of get over it pretty easily. So at least on mass numbers. So it is what it is. I think it'll be hard. He said, I believe that running around 4 bases with them shortstops around you is risky. What do you mean risky? Okay, but that's the thing. They're going to get tested. If you have a temperature for the game, they ain't going to let you play. They're going to be like, get out of here, man. Go quarantine yourself. So
Rich, that's a fact. It is.
I agree with the sports reaction.
Yeah,
100%. He said he loved the Sega CD film. Thanks, buddy.
So what do you think, JD? If the season is going to pick up and they're just going to start the play, so let's go off the assumption that there's going to be that they're not going to finish the regular season. They're not going to finish the regular season. They're going to just say they're going to axe those. I think they had 12 games, 10 to 12 games left in the regular season.
Something
I think
like that. Yeah,
depending on
they would have finished on April 15th.
Yeah, so I think they had, depending on the teams, there was 10 to 12 games left in the regular season. So apparently, I mean, I think they're leaning towards the most timetable efficient one would be to axe the 12-game season, have 2 exhibition games, and then start the playoffs. You know what I mean? Basically, like practice games for these guys, and then jump into the playoffs. But so if they're
going back to practice, didn't they say on the 8th? Didn't they say they're going back to practice on the 8th? We might not even need exhibit. You can have scrimmages and stuff as long as everybody's,
Well, so here's
have a temperature or whatever.
That's an interesting thing. So Rich said his Spurs had 19. So they had a lot left. So 19 games left. But that's but that's what I'm saying. So it's like, think about that. Like we just talked about that like a couple minutes ago. If the Spurs win 14 or 13 or 14 of those games, and some of those, the Grizzlies, hit a skid, this is like a lot of these bubble teams are not going to like that call. They're not. But the longer this goes, man, the longer it goes, and Adam Silver has definitely waited a long time to kind of, pull the trigger on a decision on what he really wants, to do. But time is not your friend anymore. You know what I mean? Time is the enemy now, because you have to have time for
the draft, and delaying the start of next season definitely helps with time, though.
That's very true, but they still need, I think Adam Silver's still trying to give these guys a little bit of an off season instead of just being like, okay, season's over, you get 2 weeks to yourself, and then it's draft time, and then back into the regular. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. He'd like to get it done ideally before August is over. I think he'd like to have a champion before August, which means he wants to start it
now,
in a week or so, or 2 weeks, basically.
Now. But here's a prime example, right? Some teams are going to be at more of an advantage than others. The team facilities for some of these teams have been opened up if you're in a state in which they have said that you're okay to go back into these facilities. Well, I can tell you right now, the Celtics facilities are still closed.
Yeah, a lot of the big cities are gonna.
They're not allowed back.
The NBA is gonna have to. The NBA is gonna have to definitely, like you said, quarantine in an area like Las Vegas or ESPN. They're all just gonna have to live there for 2 months, sadly. Even though that's not seems like a good vacation to me.
But you know what I mean? So it automatically puts these teams in areas that that have low numbers at an advantage. Like areas like New York, areas like Boston, areas like California, these all those teams, they're not going to be able to work out in their facilities for probably another month.
Yeah, if I were the NBA, actually, I wouldn't even let them. I wouldn't even let them open practice facilities. I would literally say, "Nah, dude, if you're gonna be part of the NBA, if you're gonna get paid all this effing money, then we're all gonna go to ESPN or something like that right now, or Las Vegas right now, and just quarantine until like August for like 3 months." Because do they get paid so much money? You didn't tell me they would say no. Like, absolutely not. They're gonna say yes. Even the trainers and shit are gonna say yes.
Yeah.
But
But
they're all gonna get tested too.
yeah, oh yeah. And if they have, dude, and if they have to, they'll test them they'll test them every game. You know, they'll test them
Yeah,
every
they got
game.
money.
If they have to, they would. They'll pay the however many thousands of dollars it is per each test. They'll pay it. Like it's
Yeah, they will. There's money to be made.
there is as long as there's money to be made in a situation, they are going to try to come back. So let's go the next segment. Let's kind of go off of that premise that the NBA is back and that we're heading into the playoffs. So so who are your top 4 teams in the East? Who are the top 4 teams in the East?
This is what I really want to talk about right here. All right. In the East, you said. Okay, in the East. That's interesting.
Top 4 teams in the East.
So obviously the Bucks. I'm gonna give the Bucks like the benefit of the doubt, and then I'm gonna go with the Celtics. I think they're the best. They're the best coach team. I think they have a ton of really good players. Like they have the most depth. I think. Like maybe not the deepest team, but they have the best like 8 players. You know what I mean? Like maybe 7 players. Still, they have a lot of guys who can score for you, and that's really nice. But I find it very interesting that I simulated the playoffs. What was it? We did it like 4 times. And
yeah, I think you did 4 different simulations.
Yeah, and 2 of them, the Raptors won. The Raptors won 2 out of the 4 simulations, and I was like mind blown because honestly,
dude, they're
crazy.
They're still a good team.
Raptors over at number 3.
They're still I put the Raptor. I think it's Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, and then insert
Pascal Siakam's no joke.
But do you know what I mean? Like I think it's Bucks, Raptors, and Celtics, and then insert your 4th team there. Like I don't know whoever
Take the Heat over the Sixers.
I think it's either going to be the Sixers or Miami. I think they're gonna either one of those teams. Either one of those teams because Miami's been playing red. They were playing red hot before this stopped. So, so go ahead, man. Continue. Go ahead. Keep going. So your top 4 in the East are who? The sorry. Bucks. So the Bucks, the Celtics. Yeah. Who else?
Oh, the Bucks. Yeah, the Bucks, Celtics, Raptors are definitely my top 3. Maybe even Raptors over Celtics. You could definitely argue that, and probably Heat, like you said. So yeah, those are my 4 definitely. But I think Pascal Siakam is no joke.
Dude, he's proved it this year. He's proved it this year. He's pretty good, man. He's good.
This is a big year for Giannis. If Giannis, I want to paint this picture for you for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
All right, go ahead.
Giannis Antetokounmpo loses in the 2nd or 3rd round, or even in the Eastern Conference Finals. He loses. He does not make the finals. Like making the finals is like a step forward. He does not make the finals again. What does he do? He's a free agent, unrestricted.
I'd take him on the Celtics.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. But like seriously, Celtics are.
I bet if he doesn't get to the championship this year, then he may leave. What's up, Nitro? Nitro Online in the house.
Where
Key
would
in the
you
building.
go?
What's up, Key?
Where would you guys go in the chat? I want to know where everyone. If you're Giannis, you want to leave. Where are you going? Where are you going and why? Miami's a team that could take him.
So you're saying Giannis doesn't? So Giannis doesn't make the a title run, right? And he.
Yeah, if he does not make the finals.
Yeah, no, I'm with if they don't make a real deep playoff run, then I think he's gonna seriously consider going somewhere else. I'm with you on that. I agree with that. I agree there.
LeBron Warriors said Warriors, and then Sports Reaction
Nitro said
Warriors.
So the Celtics aren't so far fetched. If they could get enough collateral to get him, I bet they would go. I bet Danny Ainge is crazy enough to go get him.
It is not crazy for the Celtics to get him. It's not because they already what's his face? Jaylen Brown. He signed a really good deal for them. So, they can get another max contract and Jason Tatum. So
I was just gonna say, would you trade Tatum for Giannis?
I don't think you'd have to, but I mean,
if that's what it would take, would you trade Tatum or Brown for Giannis and a bunch of it's probably going to take one of those two and some picks to get and a lot of picks to get Giannis here. But so the question to Celtics fans would be, would you trade Tatum or Brown for Giannis? Plus probably a first round pick.
Fans? I want to know what Celtics fans want to say about that one. That's interesting.
I would take Giannis on the Celtics. I mean, I think Tatum is very good. I think Tatum is very good, but I don't know, man. Giannis has a lot of talent, and then you stick him with Brad Stevens. They could probably develop another guy somewhere. Karam said I would trade Jaylen Brown. I would trade Brown.
Here's why you don't trade him though, because he signed a really team friendly deal.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It's team friendly. It's cheap, So you could trade Brown and some picks. Like Nitro just said it. He said keep Tatum and Kemba together for depth, and then trade Brown and some picks, and put some other players with them.
Keep Tatum and Giannis.
What if you trade? Here's a trade. Here's how you could run that. Right? You could do Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward and a pick for Giannis.
Yeah, if Giannis wants to leave and it's like a sign and trade type of deal where he gets the most money from the Bucks, that's not crazy. It's really not crazy. But
the Celtics first round pick, right? The Celtics first round pick, and then you go Hayward and Brown for Giannis.
He said you could trade Taco Fall. Hey, what up, Key in the building? How's it going?
So, but I think we're me and you are in agreement about the top four in the East right now. So
Raptors are no joke. Celtics best coaching. Giannis best player.
That's the best. That's the best weapon the Celtics have is the coaching. One of the best
good
weapons.
Players overall, like B+ players across the board, and then a really good coach. Kind of like the Spurs of the old days.
Yeah, and if Tatum develops too, if he takes another step forward next year, dude, that's gonna be ridiculous.
What I love about Tatum, dude, is he is really his head is on fire in the playoffs. Like you can just see his eyes are just like he's wants to win. He's like a Kobe. He's got that Mamba mentality.
Tatum hates to lose too. He hates to lose,
especially in the playoffs.
He hates
He cares about those games. He plays some ridiculous defense in the playoffs too.
Jaylen Brown's the same way. Them two guys hate to lose. They hate it.
Nick Nurse is a tremendous coach, and Nick Nurse, yeah, he probably does deserve Coach of the Year. To be honest, he really does.
So let's whittle it down even farther, JD. So Heat, Raptors, Celtics, Bucks. Who's the final?
Oh man, it really does depend on the matchups. Like if it all ends today, right? If it all ends today, the Raptors face the Nets, and I feel like the Raptors are going to shit on the Nets, so they'll definitely they'll demolish that next series.
They'll demolish them.
I got Boston over Philly. I feel like Boston's going to take care of Philly pretty easily. The probably 5 or 6 games at the most. I think that Jason Tatum kind of has their number. I think Jason Tatum dominates the Philadelphia whenever he faces them. He just does. He's just a better player,
Philly plays no defense down low though. That's their problem.
especially against Tatum.
Down low under the hoop, which is where the Celtics, they try and get the ball down low to some of the, and get it to
Horford just doesn't fit.
So who do you think? Who you got? The final two in the East.
Final two. Okay. Probably Celtics and Bucks. I want to say the Raptors. Maybe they could sneak in there, but I'm going to go with the Celtics.
Karam makes a good point. There's going to be a lot of like really good matchups. Because he said Heat Pacers is going to be it will be.
Great matchup.
There's Philly could give us trouble though. They gave us a little bit of trouble in the regular season just because their size. Like even Ben Simmons is good down low. Like he can't shoot outside, but if you get him the ball down inside the paint, he's good down low. So you have to be able to control him. I do think ultimately the Celtics would make it past them, but like you said, I think it would take 5 or 6 games to do it.
Without Jimmy Butler, they're missing that slasher who can shoot outside. They are missing that guy. They're missing the guy they're missing their fire. They really are. They're missing a lot of their fire. Like he in the building says, Embiid's big ass is I thought he said he was entitled, but
he doesn't stay on the block. No, that's absolutely a fact.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't stay on the block. He doesn't. They just don't play to their strengths very well, and they're not fiery.
That's bad coaching.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's bad coaching. The Sixers, if the Sixers had a legitimate coach, a better coach, and actually played them to their strong point, which is their size, they could bully people with your size, which their coaching style, they just don't do that. But could they? They could. They could. The Sixers could absolutely push teams around with their size, but they don't know how to use it right.
Jimmy Butler said on JJ Redick's podcast, he went on JJ Redick's podcast and he said that there's like absolutely no accountability in the room, and also they don't make it known like what the pecking order is whatsoever. Like they will not like basically say, okay, it's Ben's team, we're going to go through Ben, and Embiid's going to be the second matchup. They basically just wing it. They don't have any, like, in the film room, nobody ever criticizes Ben or Joel. They just kind of say, all right, guys, that was the game, whatever. So, yeah, you're right. It's bad coaching in Philadelphia.
But dude, with the Sixers, I've said that forever. The Sixers would be a much better team if they were better coached.
Yeah, and Key in the building, who's a Sixers fan, I believe, said that Brett Brown irks my soul. See, exactly.
Key, I feel you. Like seriously, it's
sad.
It is because they are on paper, that team
They're
is
a talented team.
Yeah, dude, they are a talented team on paper. Like their focus should be dominating teams down low in the paint with their nobody should be able to contend with their size. They should be bullying people down under the hoop with their size, and they just don't do it.
Joel Embiid is bigger and stronger and then like anyone in the league since Shaq, but he plays like Pau Gasol.
A sissy. He plays like a sissy.
He plays like
just take that ball and stuff it down the other team's throat. Like
they're bigger.
Do you see like Embiid needs to play like Giannis, where he just takes the ball and just stuffs it down your freaking throat, and you can't stop him. Basically. You can't stop Giannis. Embiid has that type of size. Use it, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
that's coaching.
I don't understand why he's shooting threes.
That's coaching. He should
only be shooting threes when he's wide open.
That's coaching, though. You know what I mean?
And also, I think they should trade. I think they got to trade one of those guys. Don't you think? They got to trade either Ben or Embiid.
I might actually, if I was them, I might trade Embiid. As crazy as that might sound,
I would trade Embiid too.
I might trade Embiid because at least Simmons plays with some fire. Embiid's a 7 foot sissy.
What would you guys do in the chat? I don't know what Key in the Building would do. What would you do, Key in the Building, if you would trade Embiid or Simmons? Who would you trade? I'm interested in that. I think I would agree with you. I would trade Embiid. I would get a bunch of shooters, 3-and-D guys, get a cheap center, a young center.
You could get 3 guys who have a long range jumper and who play defense real well, and trade Embiid for that.
Ivica Zubac would play really well with Ben Simmons. He would break away from the paint really fast. He'd be a guy who could crash the board whenever Ivica Zubac, and he could kind of play around the elbow. Yeah, that'd be a good player with Ben Simmons.
Zubac also has a mid range shot too, though. That's the thing. Zubac has a good mid range shot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which makes a big difference.
He could play well with Simmons. I could totally see it. And he doesn't need the ball ever. Water King says, no, never trade Simmons and Embiid. If anything, trade them both in the exact same year. And then you wait 1 year, trade another one. The whole team collapses. No more trusting the process. That's funny.
But see, the Sixers have to do something because they've literally correct me if I'm wrong, JD, but they've literally been running on a treadmill for like 3 years now. It's the same thing over and over. They need to do something.
They're really talented without being really good.
Yeah. Like I'm telling you, if they ever got a halfway decent coach in there, that team.
I really think it's the coaching.
Yeah. I've said it for years, dude. To me, it's been coaching there forever.
I totally agree with that. It's the coaching. I think it's time for Brett Brown to go, especially if he doesn't win this year, which I don't think he will. And then after that, like I give it 1 more year with a new coach. If you don't see some significant success, then I would trade either Embiid or Simmons. And honestly, I think they chose incorrectly. And not that they really had a choice, honestly. Like I think that Tobias Harris is a bad fit. I think that Jimmy Butler was a really, really, really good fit. And they needed more time because they only had half a season and they almost went to the finals.
Well, didn't Butler have a problem with the coaching too? Didn't he get pissed with the coaches too? Yeah,
that's why he left. He even said, "I have a great relationship with Embiid. I have a great relationship with Simmons. It's just the coaching. Nobody held anyone accountable. Nobody knew whose team it was, and I didn't know whose team it was. I didn't even know my role there." He said, "That's what he said. I didn't even know my role there. So if you don't know your role there, you're not going to stay. It just is what it is. In Miami, he's a superstar. He's the star. So that's the problem. Butler fits in everywhere that's intense." That's where he fits in, Water King, in my opinion. He's an intense guy. If you're in an intense environment and you want to win every year, he'll embrace you. When the Bulls decided to tank or get rid of Tom Thibodeau, he kind of checked out. He was like, I don't care about this anymore. You guys aren't trying to win titles right now.
Hey, Lady Steel, what's up?
Butler's intense. What up? What up?
What's up, Lady Steel? Yeah, it's. I don't want to try and I don't want to sound like a homer, you know what I mean? And like have my Celtics socks and underwear on, but at the same time, like I think it's gonna be. I really do. I think it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying, right? I'm trying to be as biased as I can, but I think I think the East has been 3 teams the whole year with Miami coming in as of late. Playing really. I think Miami has figured some stuff out down the line, but I think it's too late at this point for them to realistically make a run at it. But next year, I think the Heat are going to be really dangerous. I think the Heat are going to be dangerous next year. But to me, this has been
volume shooter. Oof.
If Miami gets a good shooter in this year's draft, they're going to be dangerous. You watch. They're going to be a fast-paced, they're going to be a dangerous team.
They have a couple, but I mean, one more could really just take the top off that team. It could be really nasty.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, dude, it's the Heat are going to be really good. They're going to be good next year. But this, to me, for a while now, this has been a 3-horse race. It's been the Bucks leading the way. and then the Celtics and the Raptors have just been trading punch for punch for the last for the 2 weeks before they suspended the season. To me it's been a 3-horse race. It's those three. Any of those three teams could make it out. They could.
Tobias Harris is good. Key in the building. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just gonna say he's good. He's not as intense as Jimmy. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Harris needs to play with more fire. He does.
He just doesn't inspire me when I'm playing him. Like Jimmy Butler just goes wild. It's usually controlled anger or controlled fury too.
It's controlled aggression. It's controlled aggression. But in my eyes, it's been those three teams, and I mean, if the Raptors somehow manage to get in there, and it's the Raptors and the Bucks, one thing you cannot discount about Toronto, they play defense, and they play defense really good, and that's what got them the title last year. That's what got them the title last year. Not only do they shoot and they hustle and they make you have guys diving in the stands and you have got gritty guys that have grit on that team, dude. But they grind. They're not afraid to grind a game out 88-90 and beat you that way. And
they still have a big three. If you think about it, they're just kind of an aged big three, where they have Kyle Lowry, who is still an elite point guard in the league. Like he's not Steph Curry, he's not Damian Lillard, but he's still like a solid. He's like a poor man's Chris Paul, if we're being honest, and he's a champion. So and he can shoot probably better than Chris Paul. So he's a really solid point guard. And then you got Pascal Siakam, who's an up and coming top 5 forward in the league, if not top 3, honestly, already, at least in the East. And then you got Marc Gasol, who is just, I mean, he's basically Pau Gasol. He's the same guy. So yeah, you have a team that has championship pedigree. They're not the same team that they were with DeMar DeRozan. They're not flashy. They're not looking to like put on a show. They're looking to kick your ass. That's what the Raptors want to do these days.
But that's what I mean. Like that grit is what won them that title. They play D and they play it real well.
They're not messing around, and they like being the underdog. They're the underdog again, even though they were just the champions.
So, in my eyes, it's those three teams. And if it's so, I will say this:
VanVleet's solid too. If
the Celtics don't make the Eastern Conference Finals, and it is the Toronto Raptors and the Bucks, you're going to see how well the offensive side of the ball of the basketball is for the Bucks when they actually get challenged, because don't make no mistake about it, the Raptors they'll D them up. They will D every one of those shooters up on the Bucks to see.
This is a competitive East.
Yeah, I hope it's the Celtics and the Bucks, because here's the thing: I want to see what the Celtics can do in high pressure situation against in a high pressure situation against the Bucks, because the Bucks have been their kryptonite. Giannis has been the Celtics' kryptonite. Can they finally get over that hump? And if the Celtics can beat the Bucks in a series and get into the finals,
Giannis is gone.
Then I think he'll leave, and two, it's going to be awfully interesting to see how much energy AD and LeBron are willing to actually, that's going to be a good series.
Oh, Celtics versus Lakers, if that happened?
If that happens, that's going to be a really good final.
I got the Celtics, dude.
I'm just saying, if they can get past the Bucks, their chances of winning a title go significantly up.
Yeah. No,
I think the Bucks give them more trouble than the Bucks give them more trouble than the Lakers do.
Oh God! If Giannis went to the Raptors, I'm gonna read a couple of these comments, because I'm gonna respond to them, because a few of them are interesting. I thought the Karam was talking about if the Heat got Danilo Gallinari, dude, that would be insane. That would be ridiculous. That's the guy they need right there, Danilo Gallinari. He would become a star with the Heat. And LaMelo Ball, where's he gonna go? I hope he goes to the Bulls. Where do you think he's going to go, Bobby?
That's interesting. There's a couple of teams out there that could definitely use him, and use him well. I think his style of play would fit in Chicago. I think it definitely would, and they need a shooter.
We need someone who wants greatness.
They need a shooter. He could go there. He could go another landing spot. He could end up with the I think the Grizzlies. He could end up with them.
The Knicks.
The Knicks, maybe. You could throw them in there. Any of these teams that are a shooter away.
Ja Morant and LaMelo Ball backcourt. Oh man. Luka Doncic is going to win an MVP in a year or two. Yeah, I agree with that. He said, "Watch Giannis go to the Raptors." Bro,
if he went to the Raptors, that would be like a cheat. Like that.
Yeah, the
that
Raptors
would
be a dynasty.
Yeah, that would be a ridiculously good team because he would. I mean, think of the attention that he would take away from some of those guys who are like number 2s and number 3s. Like that would be a ridiculous team to have to deal with.
Him and Pascal Siakam would probably be the best 1-2 punch at the forward position.
Yeah,
ever. Like that's better than Kawhi and Paul George.
So T-Ray says, I don't see anybody beating the Celtics in a 7-game series. I think the Celtics. I think that T-Ray, I'm with you on that one, brother. I think the Celtics are built to go long series. I think that they could. If it does end up going there, I think the Celtics could their chances. I think they go up for sure. And then he says the Raptors won't beat the Celtics or the Bucks.
The Raptors are honestly the one. The Bucks, Raptors, and Celtics are my I seriously think
they're the
it's
three
like
teams
even split down the middle, like 3-3-3 or one. Everyone gets has a 1/3 of chance. Like I really do. I think it's 33% chance for each of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move now. Now the West is a little more interesting because there is a lot more competition in the West. And there was a lot of teams. There was a lot of teams in the West, JD, that figured stuff out in the second half of the season, and that came storming from out of nowhere to really put themselves in a spot to make a run. So, what do you think? Top 4 in the West.
Top 4 in the West. Okay. Well, okay, yeah, I'll start with that. Top 4 in the West. Oh man. So, definitely the Clippers. Definitely the Clippers. No question about that. I'm gonna have to go with number 2. I'm gonna have to go with probably the Lakers. Probably the Lakers, just a little bit. And then Denver and Houston are my number 3. Tied, I would say, tied in the West. And then my dark horse sleeper is the Mavericks. If they can upset the Clippers, the Mavericks could make a little run, which would be crazy. But yeah, I think that the Rockets are interesting, but I don't know how much I believe in Russell Westbrook after him getting bounced in the first round 3 years in a row now. And it's not like the offense hasn't. It looks like OKC's old offense. I'm just saying, OKC is a dark horse to beat the Jazz.
Hey, Karam just took my. Karam took my dark horse pick. I was gonna say. I was gonna say that the Thunder were my dark horse pick. The Thunder were gonna be my dark horse pick because they started off horrendous, right? They started off their season terrible, but they have figured some stuff out there.
Definitely. And yes, they have figured it out. And what's his name? Chris Paul. Big freaking brain, dude. He's the best. He's probably the smartest basketball player in the league right now.
I don't think there's a lot of guys out there that see the court as good as Chris Paul does.
He just does all in the moments that you need the game to like change, basically, Chris Paul will take over and get guys in a rhythm. Basically, he gets dudes in rhythms, and that's really underrated. Like, that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. You know what I mean? Like, he'll get Shea Gilgeous-Alexander going at the same position, which is crazy if you think about it. Like, a point guard who's such a high IQ that he can let another point guard excel at point guard in the same game. Like, I mean, we've never seen that shit. Like, he's unbelievable.
I feel like why do I always feel like Chris Paul falls short all the time? Why do I mean, is it just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they always get so close and then he just always comes up short for some reason.
To me, it's because he's not he's okay. It's okay. I was about to say he's not a superstar. He's definitely a superstar.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Legendary talent. That's why, in my opinion,
you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
I know what you mean. And he's also been injured like 5 times.
He gets so close, right? They're like right on the edge of taking that next step forward, and it just seems like they get so close, and then they just have all their like hopes just smashed, and they you know what I mean? It's
yes, absolutely.
But that they have definitely the Thunder have definitely, like, talk about like a 180 from the beginning of the season. They were playing before all this stopped. They were playing real good. They gave the Celtics fits. The Celtics could not. They could not stop the Thunder. Like down the end of some of those games, like toward like the last like 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, the Celtics could not stop the OKC Thunder. They couldn't. It was maddening too, because we would be beating up on them bad the entire first half, and then the Thunder just slowly but surely they just chip away at it, and
the Thunder are a lot like the Celtics. They're a well-rounded team with a really smart GM and a solid coach. They are not. They're similar, and also they have a really high IQ point guard. Kemba Walker is a high IQ point guard. So is Chris Paul. I'd say Chris Paul is an even higher IQ point guard. And the thing with Chris Paul that a lot of people don't talk about, everyone's brought up the Rockets in recent years. Oh, what about the Rockets? He's 1 game away from the finals, and then he got hurt. What about the Clippers,
T-Ray
dude?
just brought
He got like 5 times almost in the finals.
Sorry to interrupt you. T-Ray brought up. He said I saw something. I saw someone or something say the Knicks were interested in Chris Paul.
I probably didn't mean SJ. Yes, I heard this. I have heard this. In the Knicks, yes, the Knicks are interested in Chris Paul, and I think the reason why is because they want
see the value there.
Yeah, to usher in the young guys. They look at what the Thunder. Okay, well, all these young guys were kind of raw, and then Chris Paul came along, and all of a sudden, boom, they're popping and they're playing really well.
That veteran presence, yeah. Keeping all their heads in the game and pointing it in the right in all their, keep it all pointed in the right direction.
Dude, fuck it. Just make Chris Paul the coach. Fuck it. Fire everyone. Make Chris Paul the coach. Just fuck it, dude. Like, make him a player coach. Fuck it.
It's so give me your so once again your top 4 in the West. What were they?
All right, so Clippers, Lakers.
Yep.
Oh man, and then it's pretty much a 3 or 4-way, or it's a 3-way tie between like the Nuggets, Rockets, and hold on, who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody here. I'm gonna see like the Jazz. I like the Jazz, but I feel like the Thunder are going to beat them. I really do. I think the Thunder are going to beat the Jazz. Is that crazy?
If they played each other, I would take the Thunder over the Jazz. I would.
I feel like Dallas, Houston, Denver, and like.
What about Portland?
They're all tied. Portland's not even in it, are they? Portland's not even. They didn't even make it. They have 9th seed right now.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Do you think they would? You don't think they would get it? They're not in there. You don't.
Nope.
I thought they were at the 8.
No, the 8th seed is Memphis. The Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, that's right. Memphis did. I forgot. Memphis did jump them. Memphis did jump them. I forgot Memphis did jump them. I did. I completely forgot that they jumped them. So my my top four. I'm gonna agree with you with the Clippers and Lakers being the top two there. I'll put simply because that jackwagon James Harden, and they're gonna call fouls in favor of him all day long. So I'll put them at 3, and then the four would probably have to be the fourth would probably have to be the Nuggets, and then the Jet. Yeah, so right, that's 4, right? Yeah, and then my sleeper team would be the Thunder. My sleeper team would be the Thunder.
And the reason why they're the sleeper team, I think it's because of the most interesting narrative of the entire playoffs is who is responsible for the success of the Rockets in the last 3 or 4 years? Because let's be real, they made it to the Western Conference Finals like 3 years in a row, or 3 out of the last 4 years, something like that. They've been very successful. Was it Chris Paul? Was it Mike D'Antoni? Was it James Harden?
It's James Harden, and they call fouls and favor him all. Like, please,
but that's the reason why he lost the Western Conference Finals, because they weren't calling fouls. He went 2 for 18 that one time.
That's what happens when they stop. That's what happens when they stop being biased, and when they stop being unbiased. When they actually look,
and then James Harden failed.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. When they actually got it, when they got a set of refs in there that was like, no, you're not getting that stupid break. Like, no, we're not giving you a break. This is the NBA playoffs, you idiot. Like, no, you don't. You get no.
Does Russell Westbrook take away, or does he add anything? Does he take away from CP3? What do you think?
I'd rather have Chris Paul over Westbrook,
and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I'd rather have Chris Paul over Westbrook, to be honest.
That's why the Thunder are a sleeper,
because Westbrook's a whiny bitch, and Chris Paul at least has some grit.
Well, in Westbrook, he's so competitive that it's like a detriment in the playoffs, because he gets like self-conscious or something. He like psychs himself out. He gets so hyped up, and he just goes tunnel vision, and then just goes like 0 for 6 in the fourth quarter, and it's like,
he gets inside his
the Jazz, the Blazers.
He gets inside his own head.
Yeah, he like snapped at a fan the one time. He's just like, like, because he whatever.
Well, the guy yelled something at him or something like that. He was heckling him from the stands or something, and he couldn't take it.
Yeah, because he lost and he hates that.
So,
but will Harden help that or make that worse?
Oh, he'd probably make it worse, because he's just as much of an asshat as Westbrook is.
Then I think the Nuggets are going to win if that's the case. Honestly, I think the Nuggets are dangerous. They went to the semifinals last year. Game 7 semifinals.
So break it down, JD. So out of those 4, who's the Western Conference Finals going to be? Who are going to play?
Western Conference Finals is going to be LA versus LA, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just think it's going to be LA versus LA, and I think my gut feeling is that the Clippers are going to win. That's just my gut feeling, that the Clippers are going to win, and they're going to lose to the Eastern Conference team. That's my gut feeling.
If this is a big if, a Clippers Celtics matchup is going to be a better matchup than a Lakers Celtics. But I do have a feeling that if the Celtics make the finals, they may try and screw the Clippers out of that chance to get a Celtics Lakers matchup.
I want to see Jason Tatum on Kawhi Leonard. I feel like that would be fun to watch, because Jason Tatum on Kawhi Leonard in the finals, I'm pretty sure that'd be the best like one-on-one matchup we've seen in a while, because Jason Tatum playoff mode he's
a different animal in the playoffs.
He plays hard. He is high energy in the playoffs.
No, there's no doubt.
I'm excited.
It would definitely be a good matchup. So let's do this now, right? So we gave the top 4 from each side. Now give 2 or 3 teams that you think are built that are building the right way? Who do you think's going to be dangerous? Who do you think's got something to look forward to? Which teams are building the right way and on the come up?
I definitely think the Thunder are building the right way. I think that they, again, are like the Celtics, where they've kind of built a nucleus around kind of just their coaching, and they have like a solid point guard, and they are building around that. I could see them keeping Gallinari, but I also could see them trading him in the offseason. That's very possible. As long as they have another good draft and another good offseason, I think that the Thunder are going to do good things in the future, and I think they'll bounce back pretty quick from this era of the KD era, Westbrook era, essentially. And obviously these guys. I think that Dallas. I think Dallas is doing good things, and as long as Luka Doncic can stay healthy, and they can add a volume shooter, maybe a Bradley Beal.
Dude, if the Mavericks get Beal, that's ridiculous.
They're dangerous.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a dangerous team.
Because then they actually,
especially from the outside.
if you add Beal into that mix, right, then you actually have to pay attention to somebody outside of Doncic and
Oh God,
Kristaps. Like the attention that Bradley Beal would garner from other teams.
that's what I'd want.
It would open up, dude. Luka would have a freaking career year, like career year.
Beal is one of the best catch and shoot players in the game, and I would love to see him play with Luka Doncic. Also, he's 6'7", so he there's a mismatch problem, and he can spread the floor pretty well. So yeah, I would love to see that. If they can get somebody like Beal, you don't have to get Beal. You can get a young guy. Maybe Beal's too old. Maybe they want to build around somebody else. But you need to get somebody similar to that.
But also, Bradley Beal could draw a double, and then if you get Luka 1-on-1 in the paint, dude, forget it. Luka or Porzingis 1-on-1 in the paint, like that's a mismatch all day long. Like that's an interesting move because that could work out real well in Dallas's favor.
Oh, I definitely I agree with you. And they're talking about LeBron MVP said the Pelicans are a team that to look. Definitely the Pelicans.
I was gonna say they were. I had them as one of mine. That they're just getting started on trying to rebuild down there and trying to build like a nucleus around it. I think they're starting off pretty good. I think they have a good base to work with Zion and with to be honest, I think they won that trade.
I do too, 100%.
I think they won that trade.
Yeah. I totally agree. They won it, and because here's how you got to see it. They got two starters. They got rid of a disgruntled player, and they got a guy who could be a superstar, which is Brandon Ingram. Which, by the way, this deep thrombosis blood thing, he seems to have it under control, man. He's got like 24 points a game, 5 assists, 7 rebounds with like 2 steals. Dude is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Brandon Ingram is no joke. He popped this year. He absolutely popped. Having Zion Williamson down low too, you got a huge guy on the wing. You got a 6'7", like incredible Hulk down low who can just dunk on anyone in Zion Williamson, and then you got Lonzo Ball who can pass as good as anybody in the league. You definitely won that trade. I totally agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. I think I told Goose this. I told Goose this. I was like, dude, you guys won that when they first pulled it off. I was like, dude, you guys won that trade.
Absolutely. They said oh, they're just saying that Beal definitely needs to leave Washington, definitely.
Yeah.
And then
MVP
he
needs out of there. Beal deserves better than Washington. He deserves.
What I love
better.
about Ingram versus KD, and I'm not saying KD doesn't do this, because when KD wants to, he's a really great defender. I'm not trying to say that. He's probably a much better defender than Ingram. But Ingram's effort on the defensive end this year was obvious. It was so clear. But yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
So I'm gonna throw one. I'm gonna say the Thunder are a team that's definitely gonna be on the come up soon, and I'm gonna put the Pacers on that list. They might be
Interesting.
five. They might be 5 years out, but I think they have something going there.
Do
I
you think
think
Oladipo is the future, or do you think it's everyone but Oladipo?
I think they need to. If they surround Oladipo with some talent, and they
Okay.
put, I think they need to add a couple of. I'm telling you, because the
Would you
Pacers
give
have
him a max?
the cat. Hold on, you want cat? You want cat cam? Hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
would you guys give Oladipo a max? I want to know in the chat because that's a serious. Hey, what up, Cat? That's a serious question that they're considering. That cat's fucking passed out. My cat's passed out too.
There.
That's
Are you
funny.
happy, Brayton? Cat cam.
That's the cat cam. But yeah, oh wow. Hey, what up, cat? He's putting the cat in front of it. Cats are always good for YouTube. Cats are good for your health. But yeah, I don't know if I would give Oladipo the money. I just don't know if I would. I would offer him
Whoa. Focus
lower
camera.
money, and if somebody matched that, I would let him go. If somebody wanted to give him a max contract, I'd be
There we go.
like, I'm okay. I'll give you like 20 mil a year. I'm definitely taking 10 million off for Oladipo because one, he can't stay healthy, I don't think, or at least he got hurt a really long time.
Yeah.
And two, he's not physically who I'd want to build my franchise around. Now, he'd be a nice number two if I could get a guy like on the wing who's big, maybe a Giannis.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm with you there.
amazing. Yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah, happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all.
Happy Star Wars Day.
Happy Star Wars Day. We got to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, there's like a half dozen teams out there that real like the Heat are one that you give the Heat 3 more years and they continue this upward swing of momentum that they've got recently. They could
If
be
none keeps popping, yeah.
they could be dangerous too, man. There's a you know what?
Sabonis is just a piece, though, Leafs. That's what I would say. He's just a piece.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a guy who you build your franchise around. That's the
No.
problem I have with the Pacers.
So
That's
Vegas,
the thing. Yeah.
Vegas Vix just said he's hearing rumors of Oladipo to the Knicks. So clearly New York's looking to go out and they're looking to probably try and break
want
the
a
bank
veteran
and get
point
as much
guard.
talent in there as they can.
Hey, have a good day, LeBron MVP. Thanks for hanging out, LeBron. I hope you have a good playoff run. Stay healthy.
All right, LeBron, take it easy, brother.
See you, LeBron.
What's up, little man? Knows sports.
What up, little man? I was in your channel the other day.
Leaf says fire JD.
That's actually the name of my 2K series. My rebuild series is called Fire JD now. I've officially changed the series name.
Oh man, that's funny.
I do rebuilds and Leafs, and it's just nonstop spam. Every time I lose, they're just like L. So much support from my community.
We're doing good, little man. We're doing good, man. Vegas says hashtag fire JD.
Hey, we just won. We won, man. We're beating we're 2-2 in the Nets series, first round of the playoffs. So we'll see. But as far as the West goes, this is what I want to happen. I want Luka to beat Kawhi Leonard. That would be the most badass first round in the history of the NBA. That would be so sweet. What would happen if that happened?
It's funny you brought that up because I was going to ask you, do you think there's going to be like any like crazy upsets this year or no?
Man. Well,
I think it all depends.
2K
To me, to me it all depends on what if if they're going to try and play the final like 12 or 15 games of the season out, dude, all bets are off. All bets are off
That's true.
at that point. If they're going to try and play the final 15 games of the season out, then all bets are off because this I tell you one thing, some of the teams that are chasing in the some of the teams that could get into the playoffs, the Pacers, like some of these teams that could get in, they've beat up on this. A lot of these bubble teams have like they've just beat up on the Celtics. So it depends on the matchup, man. Like if they decide to play the rest of the regular season out, all bets are off. All bets.
I think
are
the
off.
biggest danger to your Celtics are the Pacers.
That's what I played. The Pacers.
The Heat. Yeah, the Heat are dangerous, and I think if they got to the finals, I think like you said, they'd have trouble with the Thunder. They would have trouble with they'd have trouble with a lot of teams, but I mean, I think they would. I mean, obviously, I don't think they would beat the Clippers. I do think they'd beat the Lakers, though. Actually, I don't know. Actually,
The Clippers would the Lakers would probably take them to 7.
I think I think no matter
it
what,
it would go 7. The Clippers, I don't know if I really don't know if they could beat the Clippers. Kawhi, dude, they've figured some stuff out. For the Clips have figured some stuff out, man. They've that team
TJ Warren does say Jimmy Butler.
That team has figured some stuff out. They are good.
I want to ask you something as a Celtics fan, thinking of your rival, your number one rival in the Lakers. So, like, really quick, I wanted to ask you about the Lakers, about LeBron. If LeBron does not make it to the finals with this team, is this LA experiment totally failed? Because he's not going to do it next year, I don't think. If he doesn't do it this year,
I think this is his win. The window is closing. I think this year, if he don't win a title, I think it's gonna. I think the chance that he's gonna win it next year, it goes up. It gets exponentially harder next year.
And imagine if he did.
Because here's the thing, right? Look at the situation. Look at the situation with Golden State, dude. They're probably going to get a top 3 or top 5 pick, and they're going to get 2 of the best players in the league back and healthy. Dude,
there's so many good players in this draft too, like B+ players. Really good.
Think about it, dude. Think about this. What if the Warriors win the lottery, and they get the 1?
James Wiseman, basically Amari Stoudemire.
Think about this. Put James Wiseman on the 2021 Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry and Thompson back and healthy.
I mean, tanking this year was so smart. Just saying, "Oh, Steph, you kind of cracked your hand a little bit. Looks like you can't play all year."
It was very Belichickian. Like it's evil genius. They're gonna if this is all premised on if this happens, but it's like if they win the lottery or get a top 3 pick. You don't realize how much a ridiculous amount of talent's going to be on the Warriors team next year. Like, this is Bron's chance to win a title because it gets exponentially harder next year.
I think even Halliburton would be really good on the Warriors, just like a freak athlete, just like a big, tall, strong. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. Obi Toppin,
yeah,
Vegas Fix. Honestly, any one of those guys, even the Israeli guy, Denny.
What's his name, right?
Too. All of them would fit with the Warriors. Like so many of them.
But think about it, dude. It's evil genius. It's Steve Kerr. It's Steve Kerr in the front office at their finest. Like guys, let's just cruise this season, and we'll win another title next year.
And like Wiggins is a guy who doesn't quite have a max contract. He has a smaller max contract, so you can afford some veterans and stuff like that. You have Klay Thompson and Steph sealed up.
Mm-hmm.
Even Draymond sealed up on a cheap deal. So you got a strong core. You just need to build some young guys and some role players, and you're a title contender.
Oh yeah. Yep. Easily.
It's exciting. It's basketball has never been more fun for me. Like honestly, this parody is the best it's been since like 2007, 2008.
Well, that's because the talent is dispersed throughout. It's not concentrated in six teams anymore, JD.
Yes.
It's dispersed throughout the league now. So now
The
it's
super
like
team era is over.
is over. Yeah. No, they this yeah, no, the
Thank
super team
God.
yeah, the super team era is over. It's dispersed. It's finally dispersed through the talent is finally spread out throughout the league again. Dude,
Yeah, well,
but see that's what makes it fun because it opens up like there could be a crazy bounce in the first round.
and that's what I'm really that's what I love to see. I
Like
really do because it changes everything.
What if Toronto takes out one of these you know what I mean? Like what if like one of these six seeds takes Toronto out? You know what I mean? Or what if one of these lower seeds takes out a Boston, a Toronto, or a Milwaukee? You know what if Milwaukee gets bounced in the first round? Like
That would be nuts. And that's actually, it's funny you said that because in one of my simulations, you guys might remember, it was one of my first simulations. Milwaukee got bounced by the Magic, which is,
that's dude.
I
That's
mean,
yeah. That's like it's yeah. Stupid.
you would not, you just don't think that's going to happen. But at the same time, what if it does? And like, same thing with the Clippers. What if the Clippers, the West is even more liable for things to go crazy because the Clippers, I mean, you're facing Luka Doncic, who has his head on fire. He literally is a 20-year-old or 21-year-old with his head on fire. He wants to kill everyone. He has 2 EuroLeague titles and he wants an NBA title.
No, I know he's
So exciting.
there's a lot there. I mean, I really like. I'm optimistic, JD, that we are gonna get NBA back and we're gonna get to see all these matchups.
I think we will.
I'm very optimistic that we're gonna get it back. We might have to wait another 3 weeks, for them to kind of hammer out details
To
and
know when it starts, yeah.
yeah, we might have to wait until June for it to start playing. But I think that's for a while now. I think that's what we've been hearing that like they're eyeing a June July kind of deal where they start playing. Then
Yeah, Vegas Fix.
That's
we were
facts.
talking about that earlier.
Yep, absolutely.
If he gets knocked out,
If they don't make the finals, then Giannis should leave. He should leave.
where's the best place Giannis could go to have a dynasty, like a three wins in a row, 3 titles in a row?
The Celtics.
Celtics. That's not a biased pick, you don't think?
It's been the East. The East has been the Bucks and Celtics. You replace Gordon.
You're right. You're right.
Replace Gordon, like get rid of Hayward, and get rid of Hayward, and Brown, and put Tatum, Kemba, and Giannis.
It's possible. I mean, that's definitely you could make that work. Danny Ainge is crazy enough to make that work, definitely. And I think Giannis would look good as a Celtic. I'm not gonna lie.
There would be no competition for them if he went to the Celtics. If he wants to stay in the East, go to Boston. Go to Boston. Without take.
Okay,
take
all right.
Here's the thing: does Boston go to the finals with Giannis?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Giannis,
Easy answer,
Tatum,
right?
Walker?
Yes.
Oh god.
Does Milwaukee go to the finals without him?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Like
second round bounce, right? Second round bounce.
Vegas Fix said Celtics or Giannis on the Celtics would be
Smoke.
I don't know what that is. Smoke. Oh yeah, it would be pretty legitimate. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. The Celtics should definitely target Giannis. If you can get Giannis, you get it.
But that's what I'm saying. Dude, they're instant title contenders. They would if the Celtics had Giannis, they would run the East. They would do what Milwaukee's done this year. They would mow through teams. They wouldn't stand a chance.
I think the Warriors would probably be most guaranteed success.
It would be
Actually, I don't know.
if
You make
Giannis
a
went to
good
the
point.
If Giannis went to the Celtics. I think it would be. I think they're instant. They're instant first place in the East instantly.
And if you go to the Warriors, they're going to call you a bandwagon, and if you go to the Celtics, you can kind of carve your own legacy.
I think it's Giannis's mentality. Dude, think about this. What if they win? Giannis could help the Celtics win 18, 19, and 20. And think about this. Giannis helps them win the 20th banner. Dude, they would retire his number.
He'd be a legend. Yeah, he would be a legend.
They would retire his number. They would. That team would if Giannis somehow managed to get on the Celtics. I don't know how Danny Ainge would do it. I think he would have to trade a lot of the bench, a lot of picks. I think he would have to do Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, and like 2 first-round picks.
Well, not if he wants to leave. If Giannis wants to leave,
I get it, but But this is what I'm saying. Like, it's if the Celtics could ever get Giannis, they would be a dynasty. They would be a dynasty, as long as think about this, right? How open would the field be for Tatum and Kemba with Giannis on the court? Oh, dude, it would be over. It would be over.
Tatum would have an open jumper like almost always.
There would be open shots all over the court.
Yeah, Giannis and Tatum would be an incredible team tandem.
And not only that, right? Not only that, the Celtics move the ball around the court better than the Bucks do. The ball movement on the Celtics with Giannis would be stupid. Like it would be like golden. They would be the Golden State of the East. Like
the Bucks have never been successful. The Celtics have, and Giannis can look at that and be like, yeah.
I mean, if that ever, dude, I would lose my mind. Like I would probably have to if that happened and I got the news, I would probably crash my truck driving and I got that news.
That would be bigger than KG.
It would be the biggest. It would be the biggest news since they formed the Big Three.
Yeah, that would be. Oh God, that'd be amazing. And Giannis, like, think about this though. Optimistically, like best case scenario, if Giannis doesn't want to be with the Bucks, and let's say he chooses the Celtics, he wants to be with the Celtics. Honestly, you could get Giannis for Gordon Hayward. That could win the money.
No, I think it would take more than that. I think it would take more than that. We might,
but if Giannis is going to leave anyway, then the Bucks will be lucky to get anything for him. So they'll give him the max contract and then take whatever the Celtics can give him. The Celtics will give him Hayward and a first-round pick, and then they'll be happy.
And if the Celtics and Danny Ainge and Auerbach and all them guys, if they were all them Celtic legends, if they were, I'm telling you, dude, it would be epic. It would. Why would you? If you want to stay in the East, there was nowhere else to go. There's no. If you want to be an instant title contender. You know what I mean? You could go to but Miami's still building. They're still and look at who has a better coach, the Heat or the Celtics?
That's a good question. That's actually a good question. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I want to say the Celtics, but at the same time, Spoelstra's got 2 titles.
And the I don't think you would go anywhere else. Like if you're talking about you want to stay in the East and you're Giannis and you want to go to the Western Conference, because here's the thing, there's a lot more competition in the West than there is in the East.
This is true. Like we're worried about Luka taking down Kawhi. Like I actually think it's possible.
There's a lot more competition in the West than there is in the East. If Giannis does leave Milwaukee, I think he would seriously have to look at Boston as a logical destination.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you have to look at it for sure. And if he's thinking like legacy-wise, basketball history-wise, the Celtics are a really good place to choose. I mean, the Bucks are kind of like the Cavaliers. Kareem left them. LeBron left the Cavs. Even though Kareem won a title in Milwaukee, he still left because it's Milwaukee. So it's kind of like
think about what the market here in Boston, dude. It would be freaking ridiculous.
It would be crazy. It would be crazy, and Celtics fans would go crazy for Giannis too. Giannis would be beloved for sure, definitely. The Greek. I mean, he's Greek. He's like, well, I guess no, that's Irish. Never mind. So leprechauns and all that. But yeah, this is an interesting conversation. I'm really excited though, man. We're gonna have more than one of these conversations because, especially when they finally announce that the playoffs are coming back, dude. I want to go like team by team, like an hour long section on like each team, like each
That would be dude.
matchup.
We should definitely do that. We should definitely do a Giannis to whatever team segment. Absolutely, I'm down.
Ooh, that sounds fun too. Oh man, that sounds awesome. Yeah, Giannis to this team. How many times? Think about this: Giannis to Dallas. That'd be one. That'd be one to break down too. Oh god,
we should definitely do that. I'm down for that.
That's like 8 titles right there.
Giannis, Porzingis, and Luka on the same court at once.
That'd be the European like legends team, the greatest European team ever. Oh my god, that'd be so crazy. But yeah, I agree with you. Giannis to the Celtics would be crazy too.
I kind
of hope
this is all in the premise where you like that.
I gotta hope they lose now.
I just if Giannis wants to stay in the East and he does want to leave, I think it's I think that should be the number one consideration. Like, and you want to talk about mowing through competition and just having like the most direct route back to the a 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs. That's where you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's no coach better that's going to formulate a system that can fit with Giannis and Tatum and Walker and all them. Yeah, there's no one better than Stevens.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the NBA. I think we are gonna get it back. I think judging from the president's press conferences and how he's encouraging people. I think we've heard some good news as of late. For a good portion of the country that numbers are lower and that we can. I think we're gonna try. I think we're gonna start to see, the country start to recover from this. Start the recovery process.
Yeah, Iowa's already back open. We started being open on Monday, or I guess is today Monday? Yeah, Monday. Yeah, we came back open today. California is going to be open in a week. Florida's, I think it's like halfway open.
Yeah,
so yeah, man.
We're going to be Massachusetts is going to start reopening in 2 weeks. I believe they're going to start.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to start in 2 weeks. The 18th is when
That's a big one.
Yeah, the 18th is when I believe our governor is going to start, kind of lifting some of these restrictions and start the recovery process, which is huge. It's huge. All this is good news for sports. The country starting to recover is nothing but good news for sports. It means that we can start talking. These leagues can start finally developing a plan on how to come back now that they know that some of these restrictions are starting to loosen up a little bit. So I think it's nothing but good news, like, for the sporting community.
And we need a basketball season. We need baseball. We need hockey. We need all this stuff. We can't just have it not happen for a whole year. That's just crazy. So I definitely agree.
I wonder who that was, Brayton. I wonder who that was.
I'm gonna bet Leafs.
No, it's one of Brayton's 39 sock accounts.
Oh, is it Brayton? Okay, right on. Wow, that's funny. Dude, thanks for having me on. It's been legit. And also, dude, like,
we haven't
even talked about this yet.
What's that?
Who do you think's going to win the finals? One team.
I think it's going to be the Clippers this year. I really do. As being a Celtic fan, I think the C's could come close. If they get past Milwaukee, it's going to be real close. I just think the Clippers, they have the grit, they have the grit, they have it, dude. They have that it factor, and they don't push out in the face of adversity. Like I'm hoping for a Clippers and ball. I'm hoping as a Celtic fan, I'm hoping the Celtics can win number 18. But I'm also real, I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can. I think the Clippers do have the it factor this year.
I think this is. Let me bring you through my logic. I think it's going to be an Eastern Conference team. If it's the Celtics and the Bucks, I really do, and I don't mean to throw shade at the Raptors. I just think that if it's the Raptors, that they're going to be missing that big superstar wing player, where Pascal Siakam just can't. I don't like. He's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he's ready to just. He's not Kawhi Leonard. I don't think he's Kawhi Leonard yet. So that's why I think that it won't be them. But I do think that because of how, like you said, stacked the West is, rather, how stacked it is, whoever makes it to the finals is going to be limping. Not necessarily hurt, but like tired, worn down.
The battle coming out of the East, like, dude, they're gonna be 5-game, 7-game series, all like you, yeah, like, dude, they're gonna be coming in and they're gonna be freaking exhausted.
Exactly. So I think it's gonna be, if the Bucks dominate, it'll be the Bucks. If it's a punch out, if the East is a battle, basically, I got the Celtics. If it's a 7-game series, 6-game series between the Bucks and the Celtics, I got the Celtics.
That's what I'm like. They're going to be battle tested, and they're gonna, dude. They might be tired, but they're going to be battle tested from that Bucks series, and they're going to be ready to go. If the Celtics make it to the finals, dude, you watch. They're going to be ready to go.
I also don't think if it's the Lakers, if the Lakers make it to the finals, I don't think they're going to win. Whoever it is, I don't care who it is. Bucks, Celtics, doesn't matter.
I mean, I'm a Celtic fan, so I'm going to root against the Lake. I'll root for the Clippers. I'm rooting for the Clippers to beat them in the West, because I just like, LeBron is just so douchey to me. Like I would much rather, I would have a healthy I have a healthy respect for that Clippers team, because it's dangerous, right? Like it's that Clippers team is dangerous. And you have to respect that team. But like you have, like, as good as LeBron and AD have been, like, you saw what happened when LeBron and AD start, when they get blown out in a game, they stop trying.
Quit.
They quit.
They're quitters.
They quit. Absolutely.
And here's the thing: AD's a quitter too. We've seen this. AD is a quitter too, and I'm not trying to like throw shade on him, but I remember Game 6 of the what was it? I think it was the Pelicans versus the Warriors. The Warriors were just raining threes. And AD, his body language, everything.
Oh, dude, he quit. He quit
in that series. But he quit, dude. And LeBron quit too. They have quitters. They have a quitter inside of them. Like, they're so talented, but they're quitters. So yeah, I agree with you. I think the Clippers are going to be better than the Celtics, or better than the Lakers, rather.
But just think about this, right? Like, what if the Lake Show went out in a series in like the second round just because they were getting, like, let's say they go down 3-1, like, and they're getting done. And they're getting stomped out in a series, like, and they're getting stomped out by let's say they're down by like 16 in game.
LeBron doesn't have a Kyrie to shoot him out of a loss.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I'll paint you this scenario. They're down like 3-1, and they're down like 16 or 18 at the half. Dude, do you think they're really going to win game 4? I think they're going to come out and quit. Like, I really do. Like, they just, I don't know. LeBron's just got that. I can't respect the guy for how douchey he, like, just how, like, he says, like, he preaches all this team. He's not about the team. It's him. Like, come on.
he was literally what did he say before he traded a bunch of guys? He was like, pick your guys up when they fall. And then he literally traded all those guys that he told to pick each other up. It's like he traded all of them. But
I
what I
know.
was going to say about LeBron is LeBron is so he's got his foot halfway out the door. He's already ready for post. He's already ready for his post career moves. He's already ready to be like an entrepreneur. He's already done with basketball pretty much.
Why do you think he
was,
moved to LA? It wasn't for basketball.
Yeah.
It was for his post career.
He's sporting Space Jam 2 hats on his Instagram or whatever. I don't know what it was, probably Snapchat, but whatever. He was posting. He's had Space Jam 2. It's like, bro. First of all, I think it's incredibly weak to like try to sequel another man's movie franchise. It's kind of weak as fuck. But besides that, yeah, bro, like you're just not focused on like the playoffs are coming up and you're focused on Space Jam 2. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be. I don't know. I just don't want. It's not a good look.
No, I know. It's really not. It's not. But I do think we're going to get it, JD. I think we're all going to be. I think in the next couple weeks, I think you're going to start seeing the dominoes fall. You know, one kind of chip at a time, and I do think we're going to get it back. You know what I mean? I think we are going to get it. Like, and you know what? You know, it's ironic, right? Because I think NASCAR is going to spearhead the comeback of sports, right?
Come on, NASCAR.
Listen, if those 7 races that they run go off without a hitch, no technical difficulties, nobody complains about the restrictions that they have, you know, no fans, and it goes off without a hitch, you can't tell me that the NHL and NBA are going to look at that and go, well, if they can do it with that, we can do it with our, you know, we can do it with our league if they can do it, you know. There's no way they're gonna not look at it like that.
I agree, and I really, really, really am hoping and praying that that NASCAR makes a crap load of money, and everybody watches. You know what? I'm gonna freaking watch it. I'm gonna freaking watch it just so they get the rating and they get the money. That way, they'll bring back the NBA because
everybody should. I'm telling you, everybody should watch it because if they see that people are. I'm telling you, these other leagues are going to look at the ratings, and when they see that the ratings are sky high, it's going to do nothing but help. What's up, Spotlight? What's going on, brother? What's up?
Man, I really agree with you, and I really hope that this is it, man. I really hope this is it because
I think we're going to start seeing slowly but surely JD, you said slowly but surely the country is starting to come back. It's starting to come back online. The economy's starting to come back. I think
we gotta face this virus and we gotta look it in the eye, man. We can't just run away and hide, like you said. We can't live in fear, even if it's deadly. We can't live in fear. Gotta be strong.
I think there's a lot of good signs as of late. The last couple of days, you start seeing these states with low numbers starting to kind of lift these restrictions, and they're telling people just be safe, be responsible, and we're gonna try and get the economy jump started, and I think NASCAR running these races is very important. I think these races need to go off without a hitch. I think they need to go off without a hitch. There needs to be no hiccups there, and as long as everybody's healthy after all 7 races, like let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks go by and there's no reports from anybody from those races of anything, and they're all still healthy. That's going to be a giant plus sign for the NHL and NBA, and the NFL too, to look at it and say, well, they did it. They ran 7 of these races with all these people, all these coaches, all these teams, all these drivers, and it went just fine.
True. And there can be a lot of personnel.
Everybody, and it went just fine. And I'm telling you, it's going to spearhead I hope it spearheads the comeback for the rest of these leagues.
Everybody watch NASCAR.
I'm telling you, give them the ratings. even if you have it on you don't even have to watch it. Put it on the TV.
Don't watch it.
Put it on the TV as background noise. And I don't care if you mess around on your computer for on your laptop doing something for an hour or something, or if you're just messing around the house, if you're cleaning the house, doing something. put it on. Just turn it on
It'll
so they
help
get
other
the ratings.
Yeah, it'll help other leagues. If they see that NASCAR is making a ton of ad revenue money, then they'll do it too. They will, especially baseball. Baseball will come back if NASCAR comes back. It's an outdoor sport. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. You have to show that you're going to watch, and once they see that you're going to watch, and they're going to want to share. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be like, holy, they're going to be like, holy shit! Like look at what NASCAR just did. Look at the revenue they just did. You know, like we need to come back. Like we need to start making plans on how we can do this.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I really think this we are going to get it back, and I agree with you. Yeah, man. So you got the Clippers, and I got the Eastern Conference champion.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll put my green teamer hat on right now. My Celtics boxers and socks, and I'll say the Celtics going to win the title. But I think the Clippers have that X factor, have that it factor. They're a gritty team. The Lakers don't scare them. Anybody, the Rockets don't scare. There's no team in the West I don't think they're afraid, of any team.
You know what I have against the Clippers?
What's that?
The one thing, is that they have some resentment towards Kawhi Leonard, and a lot of the veteran guys don't appreciate how Kawhi Leonard gets treated better than a lot of the veteran guys who get paid millions of dollars. And I think that in a playoff series, that does.
Do you see what he did in the playoffs last year? That's why they
bought into him last year.
That's why he gets paid like that. He's the dude. But
he gets treated differently too, and people don't like that. The Raptors didn't care. The Raptors loved it. They were like, whatever, man, whatever you want, don't matter. The Clippers don't like it, which is a problem in my opinion.
Well, they have to. Then that's the coach's job to be like, look, guys, like we all got to buy in. Like, believe me, like we all have to buy. Then that's the coach's job to get them to buy in.
Doc Rivers, yep, you're right.
Because here's the thing: Doc Rivers was not the greatest coach in NBA history, but you know what he was? He was the greatest ego manager in history.
I mean, he did manage some egos for a while, but he also let Ray Allen. He let the Ray Allen situation happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm not blaming him for it. Shit happens, but he was the coach when that happened. So it's like Doc Rivers has to look at this and say, like, all right, guys, this is for the title, man. So it'll be interesting to see if
let's put petty differences aside and let's go win a damn trophy, and then we'll worry about it in the offseason. Yeah,
that could easily definitely happen.
He could just be like, look, guys, let's just put our petty differences aside and let's go win a damn title, and we'll worry about all this other shit in the offseason. As we're on the boats, as we're on the duck boats having a parade. Like, you know what I mean? Like let's worry about it then. But like for now, let's go win a title. That's the mentality,
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think if the Celtics can make it, it's going to be a very interesting series. Whoever they play, whoever it is in the West.
Absolutely.
All right, JD, I think that's all we got for tonight, man. But thanks for stopping in, brother, and hanging out with me for an hour and a half.
Dude, it's been really fun. It's always fun on the Butcher's Block. Absolutely.
We'll have to talk about. We got more NBA content for you guys coming. We got some ideas in the pipeline that we're gonna come back with. I think they're gonna be a lot. I think they're gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna try to mix 2K into some of these ideas too. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. It'll be really fun
for the simulations. Absolutely. But yeah, we definitely got some more. We got some stuff in the pipeline that we're gonna be working on. We'll bring them on. We're definitely gonna bring them into the channel and talk about them and some stuff. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope everybody has a good night, and we will catch you later. JD, thanks for stopping by, brother, and we are gone, guys. Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk, JD Rants. We gone. Peace.
Peace.